Today's topic is fascinating to me because it's counterintuitive. So often these internet charlatans, they give you the easy answer and you swallow it wholesale because it aligns with some of your preset beliefs. I can't get a girl because my money ain't right. Nah, you can't get a girl because your game ain't right, which you've come to the right place. Sit down and take a seat because we talking that shit today. Here we go, fellas. Now, number one, we are positing that women actually appreciate and stick with a broke boy. In actual fact, a broke man has a great opportunity in retaining a woman. And the question is, what is the underlying psychology that makes such a thing possible? Which you might be saying, no, this isn't true because you've heard of the gold digger. Let me introduce you to we need a nice term to coin. I don't know if it's like the hope digger or what it is, but we were discussing earlier that there are women who want to feel needed. And in their effort to feel needed, to feel as though they're fixing someone or supporting someone, giving meaning to their own life, they get this broke boy so that they can play the mother role. Huh? You broke? She helps you with your bills. You don't have anywhere to live, so you live with her. I've even heard it termed a hobosexual. You did, which is to say, you laying down the pipe for a place to sleep at night. A hobosexual. Yes, we've all been there, even myself. I can't lie to you. But the question is, well, Marquette, how do we properly categorize the females at the accurate level? Which is to say, what percentage of these chicks are gold diggers? What percentage of these chicks are seeking to fulfill that need and are willing to pay just to have it their way? And then what other section of women are pretty even between the two, meaning they're mentally healthy, they're living a balanced life? What would you say? What would you say if you were making some guesses?
Percentage-wise?
Yeah, if we were just talking percentages. I like that you're off camera.
Yeah. I honestly think that there's a larger percentage of women.
Can you guys hear her, by the way? Let me know if you can actually hear her.
No.
Playboy X writes, we all lived off of the pipe for a little minute. Oh, absolutely. If you came from the gutter, it's no doubt that you had to lay a little bit of pipe down to, get a place to lay down your head at night. But here's the thing. What you didn't realize is if you were actually laying the ism down more strongly, then you'd be all set. Sometimes we invest too much into the physicality. Because at the end of the day, most women aren't orgasming with you anyways. And I know you're trying. Me, I'm not trying at all. I don't give a hot damn. George writes, let's get this day started right. Isn't it a beautiful thing to wake up with a little bit of ism? You heard me? That's right. Beautiful message from the saint. You were saying?
I think the percentage of women who are looking for someone to take care of, whether it's right now as you in the relationship or eventually maybe children or things like that, is probably higher than the women that are looking for men with money.
Right. So
Probably
there's more women
higher.
looking to support a man and serve a man than there are gold diggers.
Because in the end, it's not about the man. It's about fulfilling something in them. It's fulfilling a need that they have.
Right. The need to be needed.
Exactly.
Oh, there's so much depth to this topic. I was just recently thinking about the women who are in my life, not only romantically, but even familially. Is that a word? Let me know. But even family-wise. And I know they're just all clawing at my attention. And I was asking myself, well, why do they really want my attention? Is it because I'm so important, or is it because me giving them some attention means that they're locked in and secure in my life, that I would give them some of this capital, some of this value?
Oh, it has nothing to do with you.
Talk to me.
It has to do with the fact that if you're giving them attention, then that somehow means that they are taking a priority in your life, and it makes them in turn feel more important, and it's self-satisfying.
Right. And the thing that really messes me up is I like women to be collaborative and I like them to not be jealous, which is very hard to do, apparently. And I notice when they're clawing for attention, it's not only do they want the attention, they also want the attention at the expense of other women in your life.
Oh, absolutely. That's probably more important than the attention.
That was a sick truth she just delivered, Saints. You should be disgusted at this reality.
It's wanting to feel prioritized.
Right.
And it's wanting to feel like you're outranking even other general priorities, not even other people.
Well, you don't ever get ahead of the money.
Over doing this work right now, or you'll choose me over speaking to this other person, or it's about it's generally comes down to feeling wanted and feeling prioritized.
Now let me ask you this:
now, if you're taking care of someone,
if I'm taking care of the female,
no, if the female is taking care of you,
which is how I like it.
Guess who feels prioritized and needed at all times?
Oh, she's absolutely needed.
Right.
Yes.
So it's a way for them
being in that situation.
Feel like they're locking you in, even though it never works that way.
Right. No, you still getting cheated on, love. I absolutely hate when women find you in a weak position and want to keep you in that weak position, because it is not for a man to be in a weak position. A healthy woman wants a strong man. And the thing that really bothers me about it is sometimes you'll find that when you're on your come up and things are starting to come together for you, that chick is going to start becoming a roadblock, because now she's saying, oh, well, now he's getting his bread together, and that's going to move me out of the way. So low key, she will become your worst enemy as you start to progress.
Especially since now your hustles are starting to out prioritize her. Derek Vival says, how do I get like Big Homie? Always with a baddie by his side. Peace to the saint.
Y'all don't even know that she looked like Danny Glover and mixed with George Bush, actually. So imagine George Bush and Danny Glover mixed in. It's bad. It's bad. That's why she's off camera right now. Okay.
Big lips making up words.
Right. But yeah, no, she's a lovely lady, and I am very happy to have her here with me, because I think that she has great perspective on the psychology of women, and she has a breadth of experience, and also she tends to just tell it like it is, which is very rare for a woman to speak truth, not necessarily because they're consciously trying to lie, because sometimes they're lying and they don't even know it. Think about it. How many times have you met a promiscuous woman who told you, yeah, I'm promiscuous? Nah, it's always their friend or their cousin, right? Which is because they fail to see themselves through the light of truth. We all like to think well of ourselves, and sometimes when you look at reality and you don't like what you see, it's going to hurt the ego. And we try not to hurt our own ego, for that might make us suicidal. Did you have more to say, or are you just observing this ism?
I think sometimes we like to present the best version of ourselves.
When I meet a woman, I always try to present the most gruff, abrasive side of myself off the rip.
Find out what she can handle right away?
More so because I just don't care. Because I feel like I'm in a very strong position. Talk that talk, and things go real well. But when you're trying to hide who you are, I feel like everyone can sniff that out. Not only women, also your peers, your colleagues. Being fake never works. So they say, fake it till you make it. I'd rather just make it. You dig? One of the saints writes, women love broke boys and liars. Well, women often lie to themselves, right? I know a lot of women who have guys who are tall, handsome, good looking, and wealthy, and they think the guy's faithful. Hey, I'm not trying to bust anybody out. I'm just saying. If I wanted to get a couple women together to collaborate with each other, stop being jealous and petty, I like to call it evil. I find a lot of women have like real evil within them, and they don't behave unless I make them behave, which really pains me to have to do that, but it's all a part of the job.
Getting women together is very difficult because women are catty, and it's easy to say that, but you have to understand that women are very competitive. We constantly compare ourselves, and we're always trying to present that best version. And so in order to do that, a lot of women will try to either be overly competitive or put other women down, or they become super self-conscious because they're constantly in this sense of comparison.
I like that point you mentioned about putting other women down. And the funny thing is, I have a lot of women around me all the time, and I'll hear them make comments about other ladies, and I'll say, "Hey, that was negative. You could keep that to yourself." And they'll say, "Oh no, I was just saying, like,
it was just
you
an
know, that
observation. It was
right,
this." No,
right.
it's women wanting to put a small seed or an inkling into your mind and into the mind of those around them that isn't maybe even directly negative, but can start to turn a negative image.
I want you guys to pay close attention to what she just put you onto. She's saying you might have your old lady right here. You might see another woman who's a perfectly fine woman. Your old lady might say some slick shit like, "Oh wow, her hair is so nice. It looks like it's thinning right here a little bit, but so
she's
nice."
styled in a way to really try to,
Or, "Oh, that bag is that bag is awesome. I think I saw that on a Facebook ad for like $100, and everyone thinks it's like 600, but it's really $100." They say like evil shit like that, when in actual fact they're manipulating you and planting a seed in your mind to doubt how good that woman is, so that you don't even consider dealing with her. Now, if you're a super player, you're probably ignoring half the shit she says anyways. And if you're an upright man, you should be telling her not to speak like that, not even to think like that. And the worst thing is that you will be poisoned if you let her keep carrying on like that, because she'll become your leader and she'll lead you into negativity. You dig? Sick people out here.
Derek Laval writes, "Let us be saintly and not be broke boys amongst each other. Pay what you can and owe. This game is priceless if you use it and value it."
I appreciate that. That's love right there. Absolutely. And it's funny too, because I come on not on a schedule. I don't come on every day. A lot of these guys go on twice a day, or they go on a schedule. I come on when I have something to say to you, something of great value that I feel like if you catch on to it, it'll improve your life dramatically. It'll improve your understanding, which will give you more peace, right? Because now that you understand the moves that women are making, you can play the game from a boss level.
So this is actually a pretty good comment. Gary, he said, "Why is it that when you finally get a woman, then more women start to notice or go after you?" So people think, oh, they'll say things like, "Oh, you can smell it," or things like that. You're never more desirable to a woman than when you are taken by another woman. Right. And it goes back to that sense of competition and comparison. We're always competing with other women. So if this woman desires you and you desire that woman in return, it can instigate in me a sense of competition to the point where now I want to outrank her. I want to out prioritize her, things like that. And women have a very competitive mindset in a very sick way. I always tell my girlfriends, I said, it's not the random girl at the bar that you have to worry about sleeping with your man. It's your best friend.
It's your best friend.
It's the person you let in your home every day to be around you in your environment, and that you let build relationships with the people in your life. And because women deep down, they will compete, and even your best friend at one time or another is going to want to feel prettier than you, more desirable than you, competitive with you, maybe envious of you and maybe what you have or your man. And in those moments, that's going to be the first trip that's going to happen. It's not the rando.
Let me tell you something funny, Saints. If you didn't tune in for that Demon Time story, it will be going up soon on patreon.com/the Saint and the Sinner. And in the Demon Time story, true to her word, there was a situation in which this young lady's best friend had to get this work. You did. It was justified. But I think that is a really good point you make. And it's sad that you don't find sincere friendship among women. You find that they're clawing at each other. And that's why I often point out to you guys that it is necessary that you be a moral leader of yourself first and foremost, right? Because if you don't have your stuff together, how can you tell other people to get theirs together? Because even a good woman is going to have to be set back on the right track. You dig? Woo! This stuff, it hurts my heart that it's true, and I've wished that it wasn't true for so long. But among women of different income levels, different ethnicities, everything you can talk about, even though they pretend to be different. One has tattoos, one doesn't have tattoos. One's short, one's fat, one's tall, one's skinny. they're all the same. I mean, I just got back from Europe, and I can tell you, unsurprisingly, they're just like American women. Hurts my heart. Wish it wasn't true.
Unbounded Reality says how to get a woman to be loyal to you.
Oh, I have some words on that. How do I get you to be loyal to me? And by the way, when I'm talking about loyalty, I'm talking about I want you to be so down. If I say, kill that guy right there, I want you to say, give me the strap. You ever been down like that? I want you ready to catch a body.
Honestly, I don't know.
Right. No, you haven't been. If you have to think about that, you haven't been.
No.
Yeah. That's where I need you. Because there's nothing else of value if we're not there.
Well, I guess you'll have to let them know how to get me there, huh? That's what they're asking.
Are you trying to hear the ism so you could combat the ism?
I just
want you to know that you can't combat the ism.
I'm curious.
I want you to know the ism cannot be combated.
Okay.
You know, I know a lot of women will watch my work and listen to my lectures, and they'll say, "Oh, so that's what they're thinking and doing. Oh, I'm gonna be ready for that." But it's like, nah, love. If Michael Jordan was playing one-on-one with you, and you toss Jordan the rock, Jordan gets the rock and says, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I'm about to go to my left. Then I'm going to go to my right. Then I'm going to fake to the left. I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to go behind my back. I'm going to fade away. That's what I'm going to do." Jordan tells you everything he's about to do in advance. Oh, you think you're going to be able to stop him just because he told you? Nah, your ass is about to get jaded up. You about to get your ankles broke, crossed up, and jaded up by Jordan. Why? Because he really do this. Now, back to you.
Oh, I think it was your turn to drop the ism.
Back to you. Oh, you hear this? You hear this over here? Is she trolling me right now? It's your turn to drop the ism. This is entertainment here.
It is kind of entertaining.
So the gentleman asked, how do you get a woman to be loyal to you? I think the first major mistake that we make is we think it's about us, which is to say that when I talk about the Dr. Phil process, that's when you're diving into her. You see, a woman can be absolutely obsessed with you while knowing nearly nothing about you. Isn't that amazing? I've had women even tell me, "Hey, Marquett, I like your hand motions when you're talking. I like your mannerism. You're painting the picture for me." You see, the woman must be acquainted with the veneer of you, which is by design. It's even better when what's underneath what you've presented intentionally is also of high value. But you'd be wise to dive deeply into that woman and explore parts of her that no other man has explored. Surely, if you're in 2021 exploring her draws, well, turns out every Marine has dove in and swam in that ocean, my dear boy. So that's not unique. But when you learn about her history, you learn about what drives her, what motivates her, what soothes her, what calms her, what angers her. And you know where all of these buttons are, and you know how to press them masterfully. You become the puppeteer, and she becomes a happy puppet. You dig? She knows that you're in control because she submitted this to you. She's laid down at your feet and said, "Daddy, do with me what you will." And she'd rather be your trash than another man's treasure. That's because you dove in mentally. You guys are too often trying to her body instead of trying to her mind, and that's problematic. But at the end of the day, everyone likes a great leader, which is to say that if you're engaging in ballroom dance, every woman likes to dance with a man who knows how to lead a woman, knows how to give that gentle instruction so that she can respond appropriately. A female dance partner only looks good when the male lead is good. If the male lead is poor, you could have a professional female dancer, but she won't be able to show what she has because that lead is not high quality, which is to say that you must be developed yourself, and you must be able to take a strong and gentle hand to that woman to lead her to prosperity.
Find a woman who actually has the capabilities and the qualities to give back to your leadership.
When I give it to you, you got to give me something back.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. What else we got? Talk to me.
Mike Saldivar says, "You're either a peer or an honest student. Students pay tuition to attend, so I'm paying what I owe."
Shout out to Mike. Peace to the saints. One of the real saints, always supporting and the brother gets his work in that gym. You dig? Talk to me. Yeah, we'll do it. It's late at night.
Ace Trillionaire says, thanks for everything you teach and impart on us. Quit. I'm 17, got different girls choosing on me every day, and my life gets better by the second.
Check my IG story. It looks like it was over a couple different days because there were so many chicks pulling up, just wilding out in our stories, having fun. But that was one night. That's how much work we were doing. That was the rate we were working at. And what you will notice, it's called the Pareto principle, which is the idea that 20% of a population does 80% of the work. And the other 80% of the population, those are the lazy freeloaders, right? No disrespect to anybody. But what I'm saying is that, say we have 1,000 people online. We're not going to have 1,000 people pay tuition. Maybe like 20% of the people might click the like and or pay tuition, right? There's a minority of people who are enjoying the best of life because they know how to invest, because they're hard workers, because they have merit. And then it turns out that 80% that ain't really getting it in, they hate on the 20%, you dig? And that's for sure what we were experiencing in Greece. But guess what? Those are good problems. When you become a boss, your problems are even things that you can enjoy, you dig? So had a great time. And I just wanted to share that with you guys based on what Mike said, which is the idea of, pay what you owe. Once you start paying what you owe, it's going to revolutionize the way you think. Like I remember when I was poor and I would get a bill, I'm like, shit. He wants the whole thing. I got to pay the whole thing. Can I do installments? But then once the paper got straight and I get a bill, I'm happy to pay it. You dig? I'm happy to be able to pay what I owe. I'm happy to be able to strengthen my name as a responsible person. I'm happy to be able to make an investment in my future and in my reputation. You dig? That's manly. If you're earning an honest dollar, there's character there and there's goodness there. And the truth is, as has been said, it's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven, which is to say that some problems you don't want, right? Think about the difference between being a rich crackhead and a poor crackhead. A poor crackhead can use a drug when he can afford it. A rich crackhead has enough money to kill himself, right? Like you're looking at a DMX, a Michael K. Williams, the dude from The Wire, whatever the hell his name was. But they have the financial resources. So when they're broken on the inside, they can magnify that with money. So some problems you don't want, there's always like a dual, there's two sides to the coin, shall we say. But yeah, I think that's a very respectable profession. And anyone who doesn't value work, and they probably don't have much in the way of morality. If you stay persistent, persistence overcomes resistance. At the end of the day, war is life, and the wicked live in a warlike way. So the righteous have to learn to do war. So, hey, go ahead and swing that sword, player.
Nick Pin says, salute saints.
He writes, sending tuition, hit the like button. I appreciate that. And by the way, I want to let you all know that when you have your loved ones, your friends, your family, take care of them. That is the manly thing to do. I've had females who have love for me. They might see friends of mine who appear to be creating competitive businesses or competitive products, and they'll say, oh, Marquett, so-and-so, he's trying to get into your lane. Like, I don't like that. And I say, hey, love, cool out. Whether he is or he isn't, let's show him love until he reveals himself to be an enemy of ours. Because as far as we know right now, he's a friend of ours. So let's show him love. You want to keep that purity and you want to support your people, right? And so I appreciate those who say, hey, hit the like button. That's how you should conduct yourself. And trust me, if you live like that on a regular basis, you always lead with love, you will be known by that and you will be appreciated, because that is rare. And that creates good relationships. Shout out to Kevin White. You did comes through. He writes, peace to the saints. Prosperous on Cash App. Good to see you again, Saint. You dig. The real ones pulling up. Caught up on your side?
I am.
Beautiful thing. All right. Jervis writes, facts. Black women love saying they hate a broke ninja. Then you see the man that's in her house that she's smashing, but she working with men making 50K and up, but he can't smash. You know what?
It goes back to the first point.
Oh, it goes back to your first point, does it? What was your first point?
The fact that these men making 50K a year, she doesn't feel that they need her, which means that letting them smash fulfills nothing for her. He's at home. He's where she wants him to be.
Ooh-wee. So you saying they don't want the big homie who'd be like, hey, deuces, I'm going to Mykonos.
Right. I don't need you, so I can do what I like. When you take care of someone in that way, a lot of times you can exert an imbalance of control.
Wow. And I always stay away from getting racial with things, but let me just keep it honest. Some of those of the darker complexion still got a titty in their mouth, whether it's their mama's titty or their girl's titty. This is expressed through metaphor in films like Baby Boy, referring to a grown man, or rappers who want to put Lil in front of their name. It's weird. When you see me, I'm the big homie. Or they want to call themselves Da Baby or Lil Baby. How many rappers, grown black men, have the word baby in their name? It's peculiar, isn't it? Which is to say, they're living in an underdeveloped way with the suggestion that others should take care and provide for them. They're not ready to stand on their own too. And I say that not only on a financial level, on a moral level, on a leadership level,
an intellectual level.
On an intellectual level, on the levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
For real. Call HR right now. I just love that you're off camera. It's like, it's great. It's right. It's lovely because I have no decency. Okay. Carrying on.
All right.
Fables writes, he can't hear you. I appreciate that.
Castro says, I was giving game to some drug addicts to turn their lives around by telling them the truth. Instead, they tried giving me career advice. Peace to the Saints and Center Nation.
Hey, peace to the Saints. You dig? The assassin is out here. But one thing I will give you a little bit of game without it having been solicited. We have that 3-sentence Bible. Did I tell you I wrote a 3-sentence Quran? A 3-sentence Torah. Number 1, be yourself. Number 2, be good to yourself. Number 3, be good to good people, in that order. Now, when we say be good to good people, if you're trying to give game to people who are shermed out, I'm going to go ahead and say they might not be good people. So this may be a waste of your time. That may have been where you went awry there.
Or you're trying to give yourself a platform.
Oh.
If you think you're above the people you're trying to give advice to, and maybe it's just to blow smoke up your own ass.
Ooh, she talking that talk.
Sorry.
She talking that talk. That's a good point. And I must say that if people aren't paying for advice, I generally don't give it. Which is not to say that I think everyone should pay for advice. It is to say that most people don't want to hear about what you're schooling them on. Oh, yeah, that's one of the emperors right there.
All right. Adam Norland.
Yes.
He said, man, I've been having some issues. My standards haven't grown at the same pace as my options with women. In short, as a brain dead bimbo I hit makes me feel more and more empty inside. Advice.
I'm glad you asked me this. I really am, because most men will not even have to ask this question because they might never reach that level. I'm going to admit to you. I'm not going to tell you when it was. I'm going to just tell you, I went on a 2-week killing spree. I was killing everything in sight. You dig? Anything that moved. And I went on this 2-week killing spree. And I must say, I don't know what triggered me. When I think back, like, Marquett, why'd you go on this 2-week killing spree? You'd embodied everything there was to body. But one thing that I know you've discovered is that when you don't have any genuine affection for the woman, you don't really even enjoy the physical experience, because most of them don't have souls, because you're not spiritually connected. And what's worse is, at least for me, I feel a little bit disgusted when I lay down with a woman that is like a low woman. I'm like, did I really just do that? But the worst thing is not until you're like, you're disgusting. It's not until then do you realize it. Like, before, you're like, she's okay, she's all right. Now, I want to let you know that as a successful man, you are now a beautiful woman. Right. You got to let them know, like, hey, baby, you can't get this candy muscle for the low. You got to earn this. You got to make them put in some work. In fact, it's almost like a fraternity pledge semester. When people feel like they've earned something, they value it more. So that's number 1. You got to be stingy with the D. Number 2, as you said, you've increased in your standing in the society that you're in, which is to say that you're now a beautiful woman. Women are now pursuing you. And I just want to give you a heads up. You got to make sure you increase the level of your friends as well, because there was a time, maybe it was like 1 or 2 years ago, I told Cass, I was like, bro, my DMs are crazy. I was like, I get 2 or 3 of my DMs every day. And people are like, oh, that's cap. I'm like, okay, see, you ain't never lived like this. You don't know what it's really like. So I say that to say you have to make sure you're around people you can relate to. So when you have challenges like this, you can kind of compare notes and say, hey, man, like this is my situation. How are you moving? You need peers, right? So that's why I'm glad that we're connected in Assassin. Now, in terms of those standards, I have a video called You Should Only Date Rich Women. Huh? Why? Because if she have her own damn chips, she doesn't need your chips. That's number one. Number two, a wealthy woman has imagination. If you tell a wealthy woman, hey, love, I want to get a building between $2 and $3 million. If you say that, a broke is going to be like, $3 million? Nigga, you got $3 million? And you looking at her like, because she can't imagine that. And because of the limitations of her imagination, she won't be able to support you in your march toward that goal, right? So definitely review that video called Why You Should Only Date Rich Women. Saint.
Unbounded Reality says, should women let you go through their phone? Should men not want to?
Man, I ain't got time like that, bruh. Like if you're going through a chick's phone, that makes you look ultra weak and ultra insecure. In fact,
you're already at a point where why are you even there?
Yeah, it's just not necessary. And I'm not going to pretend as though in our youth it's not crossed our mind to do something like that. I'm a mature man, so I'm not saying that this is something I've never done. Have I ever looked in a chick's phone? I feel like maybe once or twice I've looked in a chick's phone. It was always they offered it. And I was like, yeah, sure, bitch. Let me see what you got going on here. Now, of course, women are way more manipulative and slick than we are. So you looking in her phone, man, she done already hid everything, deleted things, changed people's contact name, changed photos. Man, there's no way in hell you about to bust that chick 9 out of 9. But the thing is this, you should be able to spiritually feel if she's really following your program. And if she's not following your program, you don't need any evidence to kick her to the curb. You just tell her you ain't feeling it. I'm going to go ahead and say he's talking about women.
How old are you?
She says, how old are you? By the way, I'm going to go ahead and I'm about to blow your mind real quick. I'm about to blow your mind.
Is it a certain age range? It's going to look weird no matter what.
When I was in Greece with Jabri.
He says definitely women. He's 29.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, you might need to just go to Greece because low key, it was crazy. Jabri and I are in Greece and we had met these 2 shorties. They were actually with a dude when we met him, and Lord, was he hating. I was about to say something to him, but then I was like, let me just keep it player. So I'm going to just recount this story real quick. We're walking through Athens. We're trying to find where's the spot at? Where the hell's at? Where are we turning up at? So we're walking through Athens and we notice there's a whole oodle of at the bus stop. We're like, we've never seen so many bad females at a bus stop in my life. So we pull up on this group. It was 3 chicks, 1 guy. I particularly liked pulling up on this particular group. So I selected them because 1, there was a majority of females. And there was 1 guy, which would suggest he might be homo, or he might be just like a buddy, or he might be a boyfriend of one of the girls. But there was a guy, so they'd feel more comfortable in 2 random tall black guys approaching them randomly at night. So we walk up to him. I say, hey, what's going on tonight? Like, where's the spot that guys like us should be at? And so we engage a conversation. Now the girls, they've taken off their masks. We're having conversation. And the guy, he's like being standoffish, not saying anything, giving any advice or suggestions during the time. He even puts his mask on as though like we're carriers of some unfortunate disease, which is ironic because Greece is one of the poorer European countries. And we're coming from the most developed country in the world. And more importantly, you're at a bus stop and we balling. So why are you going to disrespect me like that, pimp, when I'm coming over here being cool? But rather than just get at him foul, we just kept sweet talking his bitch. So we're talking to these 3 chicks and they give us some great recommendations and they were so happy to do it. Then eventually we said, hey, thank you. We're going to head out. So we stroll off and then Jabri and I are talking. And then eventually we turn and look and he's like, hey, there's those 2 girls. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, those are 2 girls we talked to earlier. And then he's like, pew, heads over there, starts kicking game. Then I come over there. And the next thing you know, we're walking and talking with the chicks, right? Then the chicks say, oh, well, how old are you guys? Then we say, well, guess, how old do you think we are? And this is the comedy. To Jabri, they say, oh, well, you're probably like 21. And then to me, they're like, you're probably 20. And I had to start chuckling because they thought I was younger than him, which in actual fact, he's younger than me. So I thought it was chuckle worthy. Well, how old are you guys? I'm like, oh, we're 19. They're actually sisters, by the way. They're stepsisters.
Nice.
Yeah, both 19. And it's appropriate for the story, isn't it?
I suppose.
And so I thought it was funny because number one, especially when people favor you or like you, if you travel around, like for example, in my travels, when I end up in Ethiopia, the Habesha are like, oh, are you Habesha? Do you have Habesha? And you're like, nah. Or I'm in the Dominican, they're like, oh, are you Dominican? I'm like, nah. All these different places, they want to identify with you or they project. And in this case, these young women who are 19 years old, they were projecting onto us their age range. And then we're like, nah, not at all. They're like, oh, really? And so I say that to say, number one, Greece got them young hoes. And number two, if a chick is feeling you, the age doesn't matter so much. It's all about the vibe and the alignment. And then number three, they actually end up like literally, I was just DMing one of them earlier when I was on my way over here because she was hitting me up just because the time zone is funny, right? She was hitting me up like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, you didn't come hang out. I was like, I had to go home. I couldn't stay there forever.
My question in all this is, what is it?
Is your question or their question?
My question to Got Rich Cap is, if you're looking for someone to lead and shape, number one, why is the age range?
Because he wants that fresh water. But he wants some fresh
if you're
water.
looking to smash, then just say you're looking to smash.
He wants the fresh water. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right.
No, he's not looking to smash. He said to lead and to.
Right. So if you're looking for people to lead and shape,
yes,
then aren't you looking for a certain mindset that doesn't necessarily have to be young?
I think.
Are you looking for immaturity?
I'm guessing. I'm going out on a limb here. I surmise that he presumes women who are advanced in age to be carriers of baggage that was loaded up by some other nigga. Oh, excuse me. By let us say some other saint. Loaded up by some other saint. He does not want to carry the bags of another man. And he's saying with age comes bags and other things he does not want. Huh? Sound like French Montana. Huh? Lil Jon. Okay. I'm just rapper ad-libbing right now. This is my assumption, right? And I'm
So it's not the immaturity that's the focus. It's just the lack of experience.
Well, I think that he's saying if I get a fresh canvas, I can paint. I can be Da Vinci. I can be Michelangelo. I can be an artiste. If I get a canvas that already has a bunch of paint on it, then it's like, well, this is what it is. Can I paint on your canvas, or are you just like you are what you are right now?
Well, I consider myself to be open.
You're open.
Yeah.
So you gonna follow my program?
Is your program good enough to lead?
So you gonna come into the United States of Marquettica? You're trying to take up residence in Marquettadelphia? You're trying to become a citizen of Marquettafornia? She over here thinking about it too. Now, don't think about that. That's one of the few things in life you don't need to think about. Is the sun rising?
I might have to.
Ain't that a bitch?
Hear more of these isms before.
Oh, you need to hear. You need to soak up some more of the ism.
Maybe.
The greatest things in life are simple, and that's why we have a 3-sentence Bible. You could take a lifetime reading and analyzing the Bible, and looking at the etymology of certain words, and be confused and or you could get with this ism, which is 3 sentences of truth. And you should really ask yourself, how is it that a man found 3 sentences that most every situation can come back to that allow you to have enduring happiness and peace? Who can come up with that when everyone else has created these big books that no one reads? And then you should say, God damn, that's enough ism for a lifetime. I'm in. Sign me up.
So I'm actually getting a lot of comments that are agreeing with our original statement that they never had a shortage of females and actually thought that they had way more options when they were broke.
Ooh.
One of them, Rob, has decided that he thinks it's because he had more free time.
See, that's
that he had more women because he had more time.
True wealth is when you have that free time. You feel me? True wealth is free time plus the money. But free time is first and foremost. If I had to pick between the two, I'd always go for the free time. I know a guy who's a multimillionaire, kid you not, has over 70 employees, lives in Manhattan in a box apartment, has housemates, and is extremely busy. I'm like, bruh, that is not wealth. You dig? And while he's working hard and managing and CEOing, your boys in Mykonos cutting up, you dig, eating gyros. And I didn't even know that the Greeks don't really put lamb in the gyro like that. I was shocked. These are the kind of things I like to enjoy and learn about, you dig. That is great. You caught up there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, all right. Yes, indeed. And the beautiful thing about this reality that I'm sharing with you is it should really be something that tools up your game in two major ways. Number one, it lets you know that if you presently do not have the financial situation you would like, it is no worry. You can still function. And then number two, if you are blessed enough to be well off and hardworking enough and strategic enough to be well off, then you know that you should not lead with the money. Because if you lead with the money, you are putting that up as your primary asset. And the woman will treat you accordingly, which is to say, if you ever lose that money, you lose your value to that woman. So you don't lead with the finances, you lead with the ism. And let the ism speak volumes, you dig. And by the way, the diamonds dancing like Michael Jackson, you heard me? Yeah.
Takani says, just discovered the Saints and Sinner Nation. Appreciate the game. Hope you do more streams at this time as it lines up with our time zone. Peace from Australia.
Peace to the Saints in Australia. Digging. Shout out to Alex, my youngin'. He's over there building businesses, which is what I like to see.
Ricardo says, tuition. Peace to the Saints.
That's love. Peace to the Saints. I was almost tempted to even do a challenge on waking up early. You dig? Waking up with the sun. See how much you can do, because as a businessman, when you're awake in advance of business hours, you've already been able to think strategically and create the to-do list for the other people you're employing. So when they wake up after you did, they come into work with like, okay, boom, 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 I got to hit all of these major priorities, and they can work in your effort. But when you're waking up late and when you're not maximizing business hours, you're losing. As they say, the early bird gets the worm. I'd prefer different language personally, because your boy don't need to get the worm. You heard me? It's a sick world out here.
Garbage Cap again says, I want to raise kids who become productive adults. My procreation method is scientific, and I want to have a bunch of kids who will take over the world.
Okay. Go ahead, brethren. Go ahead.
Unbounded Reality wants to know how to stay focused when you have a girlfriend.
Well, Saint, if you don't keep the focus, then nobody will, undoubtedly. And we're in a sick era where men are not disciplined, right? Where you're finding that your characteristics are lining up with her characteristics, which means you're duplicating that which she is. And heterosexual women are not trying to date another female, you dig? Which is to say, you should be something that she can sharpen herself up against. And she can't sharpen herself up against Jell-O if you're soft and sweet. So number one, that means you have to establish standards, and they should be high standards that get you on your way to your goal. So for example, I cannot tell you how often a particular individual who will remain nameless, I will send this individual out to get some food, and they always seem to shoot me a text message like, hey, by the way, I'm by the donut shop. You want any donuts? You want any dessert with dinner? And every time I got to swat that idea down, say, hell nah, the hell I look like. So get my dinner and come on. Why did they mention the donuts? Are they evil? I don't know, maybe. But at the end of the day, it's because they have a sweet tooth. So they open up that option to you, even though it will destroy you. For example, this might remind you of a biblical story. I don't know, Adam and Eve, when God said, hey, you can have everything, anything you want in this garden, aka paradise, great place to be. You can have anything you like, except this one thing, the forbidden thing, which I'm telling you will destroy you and remove you from this paradise. She's like, oh, okay, bet. So she turns to Adam and says, hey, Goofy, here's an apple, the one that we were not supposed to eat. Would you like some? And that's the lovely thing about females. They're loving, they're empathetic, they want to share things, whether it's good or bad things. So you as a man, you need to be on guard, you dig? Even women who love you, you must be on guard with them, which is to say, stay on the good foot, you dig? So when Shorty said, "Hey, you want to have some dessert? Do you want some donuts?" I was like, "Nah, I don't, and neither do you. Thanks for the offer." Similarly, even on my birthday, there have been times in which the chick was like, "Oh, you want me to get you some cake?" I was like, "Nah, I don't. It's your birthday. That's okay. You call it my birthday, I call it Wednesday." Huh? Even on my at the last conference we had was my birthday actually, and she got cupcakes with the Janice logo. You dig, with the Sasson logo on it. I was like, that's two player. I gotta respect it. But it was simple. It was nothing to binge on. We didn't have cake and ice cream. There's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself every now and then. But I say that to say this to you, Saint. Your girlfriend is under your leadership, and when you set standards and you create guidelines and rules, she's going to appreciate that because you're going to be different than all of the other guys who live like animals. It's really, that's what separates us from the lower animals, is that we can make rational decisions. And by the way, don't chew with your goddamn mouth open. Anyways, what else we got?
Brother Ray says, top of it, tell them choose or lose. Availability is the best ability. When you have time with impeccable character, it's attractive to women. God bless tricks, because without them, P will starve.
That was Brother Ray? He talking that ism. Say that again like a pimp. Say it. Embody it. Embody the ism. Embody the ism. He talking that shit. Embody it. You just read it. You got to embody it. That brother didn't talk that ism. You got to. Lord. Peace to the saints. Brother Ray blessing y'all with that ism. That's a beautiful thing. And by the way, saints, when you say something to a female, you dig, and it's super player, I like to keep a straight face on number one, because half the time I'm dead serious anyways. But number two, you can't say it in your reading voice when you say something player. You dig, you got to lay it on her. You got to lay it on right. Oh, I enjoyed that. Oh, that's all me?
That's all
you can't talk that ism,
You can have it.
You're right. I'll give it to you.
I'll let you keep that one. Garbage Cap says, everyone in here is going to make it. The ism is powerful, and that helps significantly in my life. Chase excellence. Saints, let's go.
Let's get it. Say writes, much love from Portugal. About to buy the black box as soon as I start working. Oh, dude. And it has been said by one philosopher whom I will not name that it is not what it costs you to buy a book. It is what it will cost you if you don't buy the book. Not every book is for everyone, which is why I rarely give book recommendations. But there are a couple books that are so core to mindset and success that you have to get them and you have to reread them. And I want to encourage you all never to be afraid to invest in yourself, because what you're saying when you're not willing to spend any amount of money on yourself, and in this case, $10, or in other cases, $1,000, what you're really saying is, I'm not worth it. And you should never put a low price tag on yourself, because here's the unfortunate thing. When you put a low price tag on yourself, you can bet other people are putting an even lower price tag on you. You dig? But when you say, hey, I am the Ferrari. Yes, I am the Rolls Royce. You are looking at the big homie. Yes. That's when people are going to show you that respect, because they know, hey, he doesn't believe it for no reason. He don't walk around with his chest popped out for no reason. And at the end of the day, you should also deliver them goods. You dig?
Sean C says, first time tuition, manners and respect.
Oh, I appreciate it. That was his first time? That's a beautiful thing, because I often point out that to get different outcomes, you must do different things. And especially when you get in a position to give, that's a powerful position. And also, I will note, women do like generous men. Sometimes we confuse normal, healthy women with gold diggers because they like generous men. No, women like generous men because they know that they'll be provided for. You won't be miserly and leave them off bad, So generosity speaks volumes of your character. Now, don't let people use you, of course, but always know that you have enough to give. No one has ever went broke from giving to others. I guess MC Hammer might be guilty. Now, MC Hammer, I think he got his bag straight. I'm just teasing. He got his bag straight.
Mike Lamb sent a cash app.
Who?
Mike Lamb.
Mike Lamb. I'm messing with you. Shout out to Mike Lamb.
Salute Marquett.
And I had the pleasure of meeting Mike Lamb at the conference, and the saint is remarkable. And I will never forget when he introduced himself. Very powerful. Mike Lamb. He said his name like it was something, and you all should. And I encourage you to be remarkable. And he definitely did that. And I will never forget meeting Mike Lamb at the conference.
Donovan Stevens said, early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy,
Wealthy, and wise. I believe that
Ben
is
Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin. Absolutely. And that's game. And Benjamin Franklin was a super player, in case you didn't know. In fact, Benjamin Franklin recorded in his many works, quote, I had many encounters with low women due to my hard to be governed passions of youth, meaning high sex drive libido. You'll find that a lot of very successful men do have monstrous sex drives, which goes back to Freudian psychology, which is the idea that a lot of things we do is for the underlying drive of sex. You know, some guys go get the money, become famous and wealthy so they can get more women. These guys I don't trust very much. I trust a super player who's always had the women. Then you know his intentions are pure. He's just doing it for the love. You dig? Because if you look at Elon Musk, for example, go ahead and look at those photos when he first founded PayPal. Look at his hairline, look at his jawline, look at his face and his physique, and then look at him today and ask yourself how many millions he put into plastic surgery. He writes, I must say, I'm impressed by the quality. We always try to do quality. He writes, you're helping me strive for better things by always showing me the greatest part of who I am. I appreciate the time you invest to support the masses. Keep being remarkable. Thank you. That means so much to me. And truly, when we are all striving, the world is such a better place. And what you will find is that when you really are striving to be the greatest part of who you are, which involves, you know, when people encounter you, you are a cool breeze on a hot day. They don't want you to go away. And when you do leave, they miss you. And that's because you're polite. That's because you're courteous. That's because you're kind. That's because you're ambitious. That's because you're all of the things that are absent in this world. And so just by being a saint, you make the world a better place. So I'm always happy to hear that. And a man will be known by his works and his deeds and his outcomes. I think we forget that part. The outcomes, you got to deliver the goods. Caught up?
One left if you want.
Okay, yeah, talk to it.
Unbounded Reality said, how much money should I have saved if I want to buy a $100,000 plus car, plotting on a Tesla for my birthday?
Well, I would say at the rate that you're super chatting, you would probably want to do more business because when you start buying things that are unnecessary using your discretionary income, you want to make sure that it's not dollars that you're holding on to tightly, which is to say that you're only going to enjoy a six-figure car when if you crashed it, you could get out of it and still enjoy your day. Get these things when you can afford them. You know you can afford them when the money is not mattering so much to you. You understand what I'm saying? I hope you're really soaking up like really what I'm getting at here. So, and Teslas don't cost that much anyways. Just side note, Teslas don't even cost that much. And if you're not going to get the Tesla wrap, to me, they look a bit basic, right? Like they look plain and basic. If you don't get them wrapped, they really don't have any character. And if you live in a major city where people have some money, everybody has a Tesla. I feel like everybody in Vegas has a Tesla. Like, goddamn, everyone has a Tesla.
Guy picked me up for Uber in a Tesla.
Guy picked her up for Uber in a Tesla. And you should have saw her face when she just said that.
Like, what are you doing that you're driving Tesla and you got to drive Uber?
Right.
Like, what is...
And that's to the point I was trying to establish, which is don't try to go for the other things, like the shiny things, before you're that person. Make sure that you're getting things that match up to where you are, not where you want to look like you are. He writes, how do I still approach a woman who has a bad resting bitch face? Oh, bruh, that's a beautiful thing. Honestly, I love to pull things off. You have to go into all situations looking at it like, a lesser man would not win here. But the great Marquett Burton is made for things like this.
You are persistent.
Oh, you funny, huh? So you have to look at the situation as, this is what I make my name on. This situation is what shows other men that I'm greater than they are. Reminds me of a situation when I was in university. We were on Telegraph Avenue, right by Blondie's Pizza Parlor. It was me and three of my fraternity brothers. This gorgeous blonde walks by, body was stacked up, you dig. Had those flotation devices, which were quite inflated. Had the wagon on her. The hair was nice, the face was lovely, green eyes. She was quite the looker. Everybody was looking at her in awe, jaw dropped. But the big homie started walking and talking, you dig? I caught up with her. She looked at me like, ha, 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 ha. And I was like, no, I'm the real deal. I kept kicking that game at her. And the next thing you know, she was coughing up that phone number, you dig? But I always tell them before they give up that phone number, especially when they put up a little resistance, I say, hey, I don't need it unless you need me to need it. Oh, she was like, yeah, take this down, hit my line, I'm free tomorrow. I said, well, I might be able to pencil you in. I come back to the homies, they jaws is still on the ground. I help them pick those jaws up, because I'm a nice guy. Pick these jaws up. Put your tongue back in your mouth. And they say, how did you do that? I said, because while you were thinking and being scared, I was acting and being brave. That's what separates me from you. You don't believe in yourself, and you were looking at her like it would take a superhero to get her. And at that time, I was putting my cape on. Dun, 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 Superman. Yeah, and that's what I built my name off of, getting the job done. I actually did end up going out with her the next day. We actually went to see a movie called Rush Hour 3, was it? Is there a 3? Rush Hour 2 or 3? I don't even know. The movie sucked, and it was a terrible idea. Don't ever take a chick to a movie date when it's your first date. You don't get to talk. You don't get to lay down the ism. But at the end of the day, the point was your boy was winning. Now, what was the actual question that made me bring that up? Made me go in deep.
I don't know. You found that one.
Oh, did I find that one? Okay. All the same, draw some moral from it. Draw some moral.
Oh, resting bitch face.
Oh, resting bitch face. Yeah. Now, the girl had to walk like, oh, y'all ain't a damn thing. And everybody else was looking and gawking at her like they were fans. So, yeah, she definitely had that face that would make you think that she didn't have a shot in hell. But here's the thing. You always got to feel like a boss, you dig? If you don't believe in you, who believes? And I always believe in me. Some might call it narcissism. Some might call it ego. I don't give a damn thing what they call it. You heard me? I call it winning. And I call what they're doing losing, watching life from the stands while the big homie is in the game. You dig?
Heels End said, Black Box just got going. Gonna get little brother a copy.
That's love. Some people only pass the blunt. They only pass you things that will destroy you. You pass out knowledge. Oh, you are truly a saint.
BYL Wealth said, fastest way to make money?
The fastest way to make money?
It's kind of a loaded question.
That's curious. Depends on who you are. We can't all do the same thing, saints, which is going back to that 3-sentence Bible. You dig? Number 1, be yourself. For example, I might be able to send a chick out on that blade and then get paid. You might not have a pimpone in your body. You dig? So it's important to let us know who you are, because advice does not apply generally. We're not all the same. If I'm 6'8", I might be able to go play basketball and make an easy buck. If you're 5'2", you might want to look into bowling, right? So who you are matters, saint. Don't ask for general advice. Ask for the advice that's going to get you to the next level. Thank you for that. Ivan, the gentleman mastermind, writes, tuition came through prosperous. This might be the highest super chat of the night. Shout out to those who are prosperous.
We had a 109.
You said what?
We had a 109.
$109?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't tell me the baller alert needed to. You didn't tell me it was a baller alert?
I even showed it to
you. I
you.
love prosperity. You got to tell me. You showed it to me?
I did.
Maybe I was looking at you, though.
No.
Yeah, you got to see what I'm seeing.
That was this
See what I'm seeing. Oh, Adam. See, that's Swedish krones. I think those are Swedish krones.
Oh.
So I don't know what the exchange rate is.
No.
Yeah. But baller alert, though, shout out. The man is prosperous. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Ivan, sent through tuition. That's one of the loyal saints. You dig? He's prosperous. Beautiful thing. I love to see it.
The phone's about to die.
Phone's almost discharged.
Mm-hmm.
Going to heaven. All right. You caught up?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm there.
Oh, wow. Okay, saints. Well, if you have some last questions, thoughts, comments, go ahead and send them in. Otherwise, we will go ahead and wrap this up with our tradition. And this is the way we always end. Do you know how we always end?
I think you did it last time.
Yeah, I did do it last time because that's the way we always end. But do you know how? It's called the Creed of the Assassin.
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna get you a tattoo. Do you have any tattoos?
I do.
Okay, well, we're gonna get you another one. right here.
Right
Yeah,
on the rib?
Yeah, right there. Hopefully we got enough room. Shout out to Dogmatic. He writes, early morning sermon. Yes, sir. You ever been to a black church?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you have?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was you in there yelling out random shit? That's what they like to do. Oh, you didn't yell out nothing? You
I
didn't
was
catch
like
the
the
Holy
only
Ghost?
white person in the whole church. I was chilling.
You should have turned up in there. You should have turned up in there. You should have caught the Holy Ghost and some. You should have went in there wearing a wig and caught the Holy Ghost, let your wig fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
praise
man.
the Lord.
On everything.
Mm-hmm.
On everything you did. Yes, indeed. The Saint writes, just wanted to say you're one of the most impressive brothers of YouTube. Very inspiring. I appreciate that. The man got the waves dipping. You dig? The waves are spinning. You heard me? Mm-hmm. You went on camera.
Oh, I did. I saw it for a second.
Cat's going to be playing that back for it. They could be playing that back, putting it in slow-mo.
I snuck in there for a second.
They playing that back.
It was just my hair, though.
Nobody right there. Yeah. I got to get you a niqab. You know what a niqab is? That's what the Muslim, conservative Muslim women wear, just the eyes out.
Just the eyes.
That would turn me on. Yeah. Can we get you?
Mine's two-toned.
Wait, what?
My eyes.
Oh, okay. oh, good Lord. Anyway. Tequila writes, greetings from the NO, you dig? Tequila. You think Shorty name is Tequila or Shorty like to sip the tequila? We spin game at the Shorty, say, hey, put me in your mouth.
Like tequila?
Tequila! Hey, Saints, it's been truly a pleasure.